And Emily, you're learning this wasn't the first time the Imam was attacked at the mosque.
Lester, that's right. The president of the board here tells me someone pulled a gun on Sharif just a few months ago in the parking lot, but he managed to wrestle the gun away. Police would not comment on that incident today. Meanwhile, they're offering a $25,000 reward for the gunman in today's shooting, who, Lester, remains on the run.
Breaking news out of Newark, New Jersey. A public safety official there says a gunman shot an imam outside a mosque this morning.
Now, we're told he was taken to a hospital and that he's in critical condition. Investigators are now working to determine a motive. NBC News investigative correspondent Tom Winter is following this for us. You know, Tom, this is, of course, developing as we speak. Do we have any more details about what happened?
Sure. So the shooting, according to Fritz Frigé, who's the head of public safety in Newark, happened approximately 6:16 a.m. this morning as the imam was apparently going to morning prayers or to lead those morning prayer services. It happened, as you can see on screen, at the Masjid Muhammad in Newark. Every indication right now is that the imam is going to survive this. As you mentioned, he is in critical condition. Right now, authorities are trying to determine what specifically the motive might have been. And obviously, if they can speak with the imam about what he may have heard, what an individual may have said to him prior to this, that could be very helpful. We did just get a statement from the FBI in Newark, which says that this time they are not investigating this. It's typically an indication that this is not going to be a federal hate crimes investigation, which it might be if this individual was shot because of their role in that community as a faith leader and because of their faith. So I think that's something important for us to consider. This could be a crime that has nothing to do with the fact that this individual is an imam. It's just too soon to say, but right now there's no evidence that's necessarily pointing investigators towards that direction. But obviously we'll have to see where the day takes us in terms of this case.
Good afternoon. It was just over an hour ago when we confirmed the victim of this shooting at the mosque is an imam who leads prayers here at the mosque. According to the Newark Public Safety Director, that victim is in critical condition at a nearby hospital. There's a few officers here at the scene and there are people inside the mosque. Police responded to a call just after 6:15 a.m. about a shooting at South Orange Avenue and Camden Street, the intersection here where the Masjid Muhammad Mosque is located.
I'm thinking it's messed up because me myself, I'm Muslim, and the Imam, he does a lot for the community.
To me, it's sad. You know, it's sad, but I don't know. All I can say is it's a lot of consequences.
Just 2 years ago, a documentary was released on Netflix titled "Who Killed Malcolm X?" A lot of fingers and accusations were directed at a now abandoned Nation of Islam temple in Newark, New Jersey. Temple 25 on South Orange Avenue still stands to this day. Temple 25 has long been identified as the mosque that Malcolm X's alleged assassins came from. While in New Jersey recently, I visited Mayor Ras Baraka's headquarters where I interviewed Do-It-All from Lords of the Underground, who's running for public office. After our interview, I was made aware that I was standing on the same block as the notorious Masjid. The things Brother Raleigh shared on my platform didn't prepare me for the confrontation I became involved in when I went to film the alleged home base of Malcolm X shooters.
Out of Newark at this hour, where we just learned the imam who was shot outside of his mosque has died. The killer still on the run right now. News 4's Pat Battle live in Newark with the search for that shooter, Pat.
Natalie, the Newark mayor, Ras Baraka, just released a statement which said in part that Imam Hassan Sharif stood with the people of this city, and this city will stand with him and his family. And that extended family, the members of the Masjid Muhammad Mosque here on South Orange Avenue and the greater community at large. And he was a beloved member of this community. We don't yet know the motive behind his death, but we're already feeling its impact.
This is mind-blowing. This is like, I'm going. I really am. I'm speechless.
His shock gave way to tears as he learned that Imam Hassan Sharif was in critical condition this morning and later succumbed to the bullet wounds that he suffered in the parking lot behind the Masjid Muhammad Mosque just after morning prayer services at 6:15 this morning.
We all need to pray for him. He's a good man. He's always been a good person. And I don't know what else to say. I'm going in the masjid right now and I'm going to say a prayer for him. And I'm sure that the entire community is doing the same thing because the word spread it very quickly.
Anisha Abdullah drove up from South Jersey to pray for the Imam, who, in addition to his religious duties here, had worked as a security officer for the TSA at Newark Liberty Airport for more than 15 years. A spokesperson saying the TSA was deeply saddened to hear of his death, which sent shockwaves through this community. Generous and respected man, recently appointed resident Imam here at the oldest mosque in Newark, established by the Nation of Islam in 1958 as Mosque number 25. It offers educational programs, they feed the homeless, and so much more.
Central Ward, and this is South Orange Street. South Orange Avenue. Okay. As we walk in, my man was like, you know that temple was on, he said, you know that temple was on this block. I said, what temple? He said, the temple. I said, what? It didn't resonate. And he said, the Nation of Islam temple, that the dudes who, Malcolm X. I'm like, word? He was like, yeah. I'm like, where's that? He was like, it's over there. He didn't even want to point with his finger. He was like, it's over there, and kind of like pointed with his head. I said, come on, let's walk down there. Walking to the scene of the notorious temple that's been spoke about for many, many years in regards to the assassination of Malcolm X.
We have just learned that the Imam shot outside a mosque in Newark, New Jersey early this morning has died. Police say Hassan Sharif, the resident Imam of the Masjid Muhammad Mosque, was found outside in critical condition with bullet wounds in his abdomen and left arm. Our senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has been following the investigation. What do we know about what happened? Any more details, Aaron?
It was about 6:15 in the morning. The Imam appears to have been arriving at the mosque for morning prayers when he was shot by an unknown assailant, apparently dressed in all black. According to eyewitnesses, when police arrived, they found the Imam down on the pavement. And he was immediately taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. And we have since learned within the last several moments, Kira, that he died of his injuries. So now this is a homicide investigation. The authorities have not said much, though we do expect a news conference later this afternoon.
And he was like, you see that diner right across the street? Malcolm X used to eat in that diner right there. He said, you see this strip right here, South Orange Avenue? In 1965, 1966, these brothers out here sold 370,000 final call newspapers right on this block right here. It might have been a bigger number that he said, but it was just an astronomical number, and it was really reflective of the times. And he was telling me about all the black-owned Muslim bakeries, laundries, and delicatessens and grocery stores that occupied this block.
South Orange Avenue and South 10th Street is a tough intercity intersection in Newark. This is a place kids can come if they want to buy the highly addictive form of cocaine, crack.
Unite our hearts and guide us all as we continue on the path of righteousness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all. Inshallah.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Bro, you got it. You got it.
Hey, Pinto, tell the detail to hold up for a minute.
What this is about out here, and this sheikh, he came from next door to the Nation of Islam's Temple 25. Now I'm gonna tell you the breakdown on this. A lot of brothers who were in the Nation of Islam in the 60s and 70s and shit like that, today they're Sunni Muslims. They actually ended up following Malcolm's message. The message that Malcolm X was basically, you know, I don't know, probably vilified for initially. A lot of people did adhere to the things that he said when he went to his pilgrimage and came back, El Hajj Malik Shabazz. Directly next door to the Nation of Islam former temple is the Sunni Masjid. It's right next door to each other. They own this shit. They own this real estate on the block. This is theirs. This has been there since probably the 60s or something. Like I said, the temple was still standing, and the sheikh came from in front of the Sunni Masjid to confront me. So for anybody who's planning on visiting this landmark, they still there. They still there. The brothers from the 60s and 70s that was at the masjid, at Temple 25, they're still on the block. Some of them are still on the block.
The son of a Newark Imam who was shot and killed is now facing weapons charges in an unrelated case. 36-year-old Abdul Sharif and 2 other men were arrested at a home in Newark last week. NBC News had previously reported that detectives were investigating whether Sharif might have been involved in the killing of his father, Imam Hassan Sharif, earlier this month. These charges have no connection to that case, and Essex County prosecutors have no comment on any link between Abdul Sharif and his father's death.